Okay, I'd like to call the meeting of the McHenry County Zoning Board of Appeals to order. This is application number 2021-22. The address of the property is 4705 Roberts Road, Island Lake, Illinois. The property consists of approximately 10.307 acres and is located at the northwest corner of Roberts Road and Portland Road in Nunde Township. The applicant is Jose L. Guano. Gauna.
Yep.
A conditional use permit to allow for a landscape business and outdoor storage. I'd like to introduce the board at this time. Charles Eldridge, Richmond Township. Vicki Gardner, Nunde Township. Lene Kustra, Alden Township. Robert Cozen, Algonquin Township. Kurt Schnabel, Bradley Township. David Stone, that's me, McHenry Township, and Jessica Beverly, Door Township. The reason we rate off those townships is that under state law, only one member of the board can be from a single township. Publish a certificate of publication from a newspaper is dated October 14th, 2022, and thereby meets ordinance requirements. Affidavit of posting was signed and date posted was October 17th, 2022, and thereby meets ordinance requirements. Affidavit of mailing was signed and date mailed was October 11th, 2022, and thereby meets ordinance requirements. Survey has been checked against the petition, legal notice and publication in the newspaper, and all three match. Filing fees have been paid. The endangered species consultation was not required for this application. McHenry County Soil and Water Conservation District report has been received. At this time, I'd like to administer an oath. There's four people in the audience. If you intend to talk or may talk, you're not sure, I don't know if you're an objector or an observer, but I recommend that you be sworn in, all people in the audience. You're here for a reason. Raise your right hand.
Including the petitioners.
Yeah.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give herein will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, Jose, do you have any prepared presentation for us today?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is as you see the property that I have on Roberts. I'm sorry. So the property that I have on Roberts Road, as you see, intended to use a conditional use for landscaping business. As you see around that is pretty much up the north horticulture lot, and on the other south and west is all the line property of vegetation, which is really far away from the property where I'm intended to do the landscaping business there. So the purpose of that too is because there's not many properties around, which is really in the middle of the property lot. Also, already have permits from the Department of Health about their requesting, and then I think they're okay with that. And also, I have already permits for the DOT about the road. So, you know, this is what I'm kind of looking for.
Okay, have you been operating the business on this this location already?
No, not yet.
Okay. And why are you requesting an A3 zoning, or E3 zoning?
He's not.
Yes.
Conditional use.
Oh, okay, I must be mixed up with another petition. No, I'm sorry. And so, what is your property zone now currently?
I think it's A1.
Okay, and you're asking for a conditional use permit? Okay. Do you have anything further to add? What do you want to describe what's around you? What's to the north? What's the zoning there?
I think by the north is some of, what is that, I think by north is like industrial, on the west side is some of residential, and on the south there's like crossing the road is residential. And I think in the front is like A12 agriculture zoning, so.
Are there any questions from the board members?
Which one do you want to start with?
Starting with Kurt Schnabel.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Just to establish a few basics, how long actually have you owned this land now, would you say?
I'm sorry?
How long have you owned this land right now?
I think so, approximately like 2 years.
I was reading through the petition, it says there's some bathrooms on the site already. Could you describe some of the structures here on the drawing that might have such facilities?
Yeah, as you see where the office, you can just go to the office, there's, what is the office right there? This is the house. Oh yeah, by the office, you know where the parking lot is gonna be? There's,
Why don't you walk?
I can walk right, okay. I'm gonna walk a little slow, so.
You're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. He's on crutches today, so. No.
Just a little bit. Okay, there's already, this is the office, so there's like one bedroom right here too, and there's one right here, so there is two. So the office is kind of like one wall here, and there's like a door here. So one bedroom is right here, and the other one is there, so.
And could we go back to the previous picture with the general layout of the lot? That's an aerial photo.
This one.
Yeah, that one.
So which is this one.
Okay. And the storage bins are going to be located, the concrete storage bins?
On the concrete storage bins, they're gonna be, on the drawing somewhere, gonna be right here.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere right, starting, from here to here, somewhere right here.
And they're indicating along a red, what's the red line on that drawing?
Elevation line. Oh, yeah.
And a red elevation line in the southwest portion of the property.
Yes. And just to the north of that red elevation topography line, looks like there's trees there. What are those?
There's like some shrubs right here and a few trees right here. And then right here, as you see, is pretty much lawn. All this is lawn. And also there's like a barrier of the big trees right here too, like a fence. And as you see right here, there's a few trees and shrubs right here too. And also, this is on my property. It's like a really huge, big shrubs and trees right here all the way through.
That was my next question. Thank you. Between the yellow line on the west side of your property and the subdivision area, that in between those two, where there's that long, looks like a white gravel driveway.
This one?
Yeah. Who owns that? Do you know? And what is it used for? What potential use is that? We have someone in the audience that perhaps.
You want to talk about it, or you?
No, just take
Okay, we'll pass on that.
Well, what I see here is, looks like this is gonna be like a road right here. I don't know what it's gonna be in the future, but I mean, as you see, it's like a white gravel right here. So there's really a big gap between my property and that subdivision's property.
Okay, thank you. I'll let others ask questions.
Ms. Gardner?
I noticed that you had 11 employees, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you have, how many parking places are you planning?
I think it's 6.
Okay, is that adequate for your 11 employees?
Well, this probably including me and my wife, and there is gonna be a worker living, right on the trailer.
Okay, so you're
So we
actually
take care of-
living on the property? Okay, was this property a landscaping business before you bought it?
Yes.
Okay. And did you have something else? How long have you been in business here?
I think so, already about 15 years.
Oh, not on this property though?
No, not on my own. Oh, this was a question on my own or on the property?
No, on the property.
Oh, well, the property not yet. I gotta get a permit first.
Oh, so you
anyway.
haven't started?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to move your business from wherever it is now to this property?
Correct.
Okay, so in order to do that, you have to build these bins and follow all the rules?
Yeah, as you see, there's already like a big there's storage units right here. There's one right here and one right there,
Yeah,
and also that too. So I mean,
okay. And chipping, you do wood chipping on the property? Are you planning on doing wood chipping on the property?
what do you mean wood chicken?
Bringing in branches from trees and so forth and running them through a wood chipper to make a
No,
mulch or anything like that? You
No.
don't- You're not gonna plan on doing that at all?
no,
Okay.
no.
That's all.
What I'm gonna buy, I'm just buying the mulch already made it and just
Oh,
start
and
right.
storing it in the bins there. Okay, thank you.
My first question, would you like a chair? Because.
Oh, I'm good. I think I can
You're
be-
okay
yeah.
standing there? I didn't know, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
for-
all right, 'cause- yeah, so I got lots of questions, I don't want to cause you a problem if it
No,
means to
I'm
stand.
good, thank you.
Okay, so according to, well, let's start right where we're looking at now. So there's a house on the north side of the property and then a trailer?
Yeah, that one.
So is one of your workers living in the trailer and you're living in the house?
I'm not yet. I gotta do some work on the house too.
Okay, but that's your plan, that you will live in the house and then someone will live in the trailer?
Yeah, in the future.
Okay, and that trailer was there when you purchased the property?
Yeah, everything is there when I purchased the property, yes.
Okay. And is there a septic well for the trailer and septic system for the trailer? Do you have two wells and septics, or is it all in the same, do you know?
There is one well, which is.
Looks like they're in the center.
Yep, and the septic, I already talked to the Department of Health, and they give me the green light to install a new septic,
A new septic,
if I get a permit for conditional use.
okay. And so, you're comfortable with us putting in as a condition that you have to get your septic permits and everything from them in order to be able to operate this as a landscape business?
I already have that.
You have that?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
already done.
And the Department of Transportation, you needed a permit from them, and you have that permit? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay. All right. First of all, when I looked at the Soil and Water Conservation District report, at first it showed this side of the road and then the east side of Roberts Road as well. Do you own the property on the east side of Roberts Road?
Wait, can you put the,
Yeah. About that here, let's go back to this.
okay?
So where the red dot is, do you own that property too?
No.
Oh, okay, so it must have just been some confusion because that report came with property on both sides of the road, but the only property you own is the subject property.
Correct.
And right now, we're looking at a chart called surrounding zoning.
So, I'm kind of confused about, in the report, it says that you grind and chip wood from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. But you're saying that no, you don't do that?
No,
And you have no plans to do that?
no. The only thing, is maybe if I bring a few branches, chip it, but I'm not gonna be, doing that as a job. It's pretty much, have a few branches, grind it, and done. So it's not like grinding, the purpose of this is just to parking the trucks, set up the guys, send it to work, come back. Obviously, we come back with some branch of debris, and whenever we got it, we can just dispose it to one property, which is on Dollar Road, which is take a lot of disposals right there. And
So would it be fair to say that you're not going to be storing branches or any chips here? That you might be bringing some here to process and then they'll go to another site?
yeah, there will be like some branches, and then take it to the another side, which is then gonna be like this compound, or work at it, chip it, or make it a mulch, or make it a wood chips, or compost.
Now, the plat of survey is behind you there. Can you show me where those wood chips or where those branches would be going? Where will they be until they leave the site?
So there's somewhere, right here is gonna be the parking lot. As you see, there's a lot of branches, a lot of trees and shrubs here. So there'll be somewhere right here.
So those are the 6 areas where you're going to be having landscaping supplies, correct?
Yeah, all those are gonna be, the gravel, the mulch, but like I say, I'm gonna buy the mulch already made. So just bring it in on the truck, dump it and store it right there and use it.
So how long would you be thinking you'd have those branches there before they would be chipped and taken off site?
Usually I don't bring too many branches. It's maybe, like a week or a week and a half, and then pretty much most of the times branches is clean.
Just because sometimes we've had problems with that, with people just making huge piles of brush and, we want to be clear about what is and is not going to be happening here and make sure that it's something that's enforceable.
Yeah, like I say, the branches are gonna be a pile, it will be like about multiple times 2 weeks, and they'll be just, even haul away, chip it and take it away.
Okay, let's see, and you want to operate from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, is that correct?
Basically, what is the timing?
And that's April through November?
Correct.
And then the rest of the year, you want to provide snow plowing services out of here?
Basically, yes. Just like a one truck. No, I'm not really getting on the snow business, but I just put that in case,
So you yourself would be doing snow plowing, but nobody else?
Correct.
So will you be storing any salt or anything on site?
Not right now.
Okay. How about where you're going to store your vehicles? Where are you going to do that?
As you see on the drawing, there is some right here.
That's on the very southern part of the conditional use?
Yeah, as you see right here too.
Yes?
And I'm also just pretending to put like even trees and shrubs buried right here too, all the way through here. So that way they can be hiding, and you see on the south, on this side, it's a lot of branches too, and trees, so. As you see all around the property, there's a lot of trees and shrubs that are already making like a fence
A
bed.
nice buffer.
Yeah.
How much of the property to the northeast of you, there's like a house up across Roberts Road, is there a natural buffer for you on that part of your property as well?
Where?
She keeps changing.
Are you thinking about that one?
I don't know, I gotta go back to where the.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me go back.
Maybe the aerial.
I'm gonna go to the aerial. This,
Okay, there, yes, that's the one I'm looking at. At the far northeast of your property, across that road, there's some buildings there. Is that a residence?
That one?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a resident.
And there are trees on your side of the road?
Yep, right here is like trees and shrubs right there.
Okay. Okay.
Also, along right here too, there's like trees and shrubs right there too.
Yeah, that looks pretty clear, but I wasn't sure up in the far north.
And as you see from here all the way through here to somewhere right here. But I started to plant some trees and shrubs right here too.
Okay, and then where that slanted line is on the lower left, it seems to go through like a brownish area and like that yellow, no, I'm talking about that triangular, like sided,
Here?
yeah, that the border of your property goes through that brownish area. Is that like a field and you're,
Here?
yeah, yes,
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much dirt.
okay.
I mean, the whole thing is dirt.
So is this breaking off from a larger parcel to create this parcel, or was this the size of the parcel when you, I guess the PIN number was this size originally? I guess that's a question for staff. It just seems weird to me how that yellow line, the property line, kind of bisects
This
that.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, when I bought the property, it looks like, you know, from the ex-owner, he used to own the whole property, I think it's like 10 here and 10 acres on the north. And I think they divided and they made this kind of angle line. And I don't know why they make this angle line, and we agreed that we're gonna get like 10.3 acres on that.
Okay,
But they used to be one whole property and they divided.
okay, so this is breaking off from a larger parcel to create this for you?
Correct.
Okay, all right, that's
How
one.
does the access to the property? Is that a road or the?
Pardon?
how do you get to your property?
Right here is the driveway.
So the access to your property is off Roberts Road to the east? And it looks like
Correct.
there's two driveways there?
Yeah, this is the other driveway too, which is, I talked to the DOT and we're gonna work on that. So, I mean, but they're okay to work with me on that additional driveway.
Okay, but they're comfortable with you having that additional driveway?
I think if I get a conditional permit, like I say, I have to work with them, and we're gonna just discard that one. They don't want the additional driveway.
Oh, okay, okay. And then as far as the mobile home being on the property, the Department of Health has no problem with you having a mobile home there for a worker for a landscape business?
No, they already give me a permit to adjust what I have to adjust, and I got a permit already.
Okay. That's all I have at this time. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Mr. Elridge?
Are you going to be, excuse me, I need this. Will you be scoring?
I didn't adjust this, address the standards, so maybe I'll do that later.
This isn't working.
This one is kind of odd too.
Okay, well, it's working sort of. Are you going to be applying for a access permit on Portland Road at all? The road at the bottom of the property?
Right here?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so the Roberts Road is the only access point that you want for your business, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. In terms of storing your equipment, you said you're going to be storing it opposite the bins for your materials. Is there any other place in the site that you'll be storing your business vehicles or equipment?
Well, as you see on the drawing, I put some of the area, if you can put it.
Wanna go back to that one?
And as you see right here on the drawing, I put that section, where
Yes.
the vehicles are gonna be storage. So, also just make like a buffer of trees and shrubs around right here, so that way I can cover that.
Yeah, but is that the only place on the property that you're going to be storing vehicles or equipment?
Yeah. So as you see the barn right there, there's like a parking lot right there too. So the equipment, it will be behind that building, just, as you see, there's like a already existing gravel here.
So you may be storing vehicles outside?
Just like a machines right there, so the way they're away from the trucks.
Okay, and
And there'll be good access to the big storage, inside too, so.
yeah, with regard to those two storage barns, what kind of floors do they have? Are they dirt floors or concrete floors or
Are you talking about the barns?
the barns? Yes.
This is the gravel, and this is like a pavement, half concrete, half pavement.
So half concrete, half asphalt?
It's like a brick.
Like a brick, okay. So it is somewhat porous then?
Pardon me?
Water can go through.
Yeah,
Are there any floor drains in that building?
no.
How many vehicles do you have? How many other pieces of equipment and how many trailers?
Right now, this is 1, 3, 4. I have 5, 6 trailers and about 7 trucks and 2 pickups.
How big are the trucks that you have?
The biggest is like a Chevy 4500.
Okay, so nothing bigger than that.
No,
Now, right now you're showing nothing but dirt on the southern end of the property, maybe a third of the property. Is that going to stay the way it is with no storage of outside equipment?
where are you talking about? Here?
Yeah, that area.
This? No, like I said, most of the equipment will be, somewhere out there behind the barn.
Yep, but there'll be nothing in the way of equipment in the area you're describing right now.
Right here now.
Why is that so barren? What's the nature of the surface?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Why is it so barren? Why isn't anything growing there?
Why isn't anything growing?
Oh, right now it's a lot of weeds and cattails and all that, but I mean, it used to be pretty much, what I see before, it used to be only dirt, and they cultivating and they plant something right there.
Now, what's the nature of your business? Are you primarily a maintenance firm, or do you install trees and shrubs as your primary business, or mow lawns and trim shrubbery as your primary business, or do you do both?
Yeah, we do both. We do maintenance and we do install trees and shrubs, perennials, and as you see, we do some of brickwork too.
And would you be storing plants on that site as part of your business, or is that largely delivered directly to the site?
I will have some plants, as you see right here, as all this is pretty much land, so I will have some plants right here. So that way, I can take it on the side and take it to the job.
Is it correct that your employees come to the site in the morning, dropping off their cars, and then picking up whatever equipment they need for the job, and then leave the site for the day? Is it correct that you don't have many employees on that site during the working day?
Correct. There'll be maybe one employee, which is 1 or 2 employees that only take care of, the maintenance right there.
Do you have members of the public coming to your site at all?
I'm sorry?
members of the public, customers, do they come to your site at all?
Not at all.
Uh,
You mean public, right? People?
Yeah,
No.
okay, I think that's all I've got right now.
Mrs. Beverly.
Thank you. Yeah, I was wondering, are you lining these concrete storage bins with anything, or are they just bins on top of the soil?
I don't understand your question.
Are you putting anything underneath the bins to keep your materials from coming in contact with the soil? Is there going to be any barrier? Are you paving underneath the bins?
Here?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, there's gonna be a concrete base.
a concrete
Yeah,
base,
concrete
okay.
base, yes.
And I noticed in the conditional, the proposed conditions, reference to the UDO on storage of de-icing. You said that you don't intend to operate a winter snowplow business. Are you going to be storing de-icing on the property?
No.
Okay. And it's your plan to install vegetative screening on all sides of your property?
Correct. Yeah, there's a plan to plant more plants and shrubs, make the entrance of the Roberts Road. I mean, this is a really nice entrance, you know, which is like a fountain plants, grass, but we're gonna make it more attractive in the entrance too.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Cozen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe that illustration is what we're referring to as a site plan. Who was the author of the site plan?
Landscape architect Frankie Snyder.
And it appears that the last date on that site plan is September 20th, 2022, is that correct?
Are you talking about this drawing?
That is correct, if we just agreed that it is a site plan.
Then I can remember the date.
Well, there's revision dates that run from January 26, 2021 to, it appears, September 20th, 2022, but there's also a note reference of 1/5. Just want to be clear that we're looking at the most current edition of the site plan.
Yeah, I think this is the most current.
Thank you. There's also a note that appears both on the site plan as well as on the platter survey for gravel roadway coming in from what I perceive to be the northwest corner. Is that on your title, or is that just a condition that can be abandoned?
Are you talking about the gravel road that is on the Roberts Road?
No, sir. On the far northwest corner of your lot line, I believe, next, in that 100-foot area to the west, there's a notation called gravel. Also it appears on the site plan, as well as it appears on the plat of survey. Thank you. Well, staff is attempting to point it out.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, looks like before whenever the owner was, all these, looks like they have like gravel they use this path and go that way and go to the other property because they own the whole property. They own maybe like 30 acres more.
Right, so there's no obligation on you to maintain that, and it could be closed?
Correct, or I don't have no obligation to maintain, but there's some gravel right there too.
And bear with me. Also on your site plan, near the, again, the northeast corner, adjoining Roberts Road, there is a notation for a water valve. Would you know that, does public water or water run along the right-of-way, existing right-of-way of Roberts Road in your area?
I didn't get that one.
Okay. What he's asking is if there is public water along Roberts Road there.
There's a notation on the site plan prepared by the landscape architect that says water valve, and there's a symbol for water valve.
See
Oh,
where
yeah,
it says
yeah,
water
yeah.
valve up there? So he just wants to know if there's public water. Do you know if there's public water there?
I don't know about that.
I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Are any of your vehicles diesel?
Yeah, there's some diesel vehicles, yes.
Do you know where Mr. Severus's property is? Peter
Yes.
Severus? Is it possible to put a fence up between your property and his?
Well, actually, right here, this is, my property here, and I'm not against his property because this is my property, this is somebody's property, and this is can you put the aerial, please?
Oh, so you're not adjourning to Mr. Severus?
No. As you see here, this is the property that I own. This is the additional property, and this is the subdivision property. Also, there's like a big, huge amount of big trees and shrubs right here, maybe like 20 to 30 feet wide away from my property. I'm not edging to his property.
So have you had conversations with Mr. Severus?
No.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Yeah, can we clarify that 499 Portland Road is not the triangular area? I'm confused as to where exactly 499 Portland Road is. Is it?
This is Anna Kurtzman for the record, staff. I did verify the location of 499 Portland. It is the property, not the triangle piece, but the piece that is immediately to the west of the triangle piece.
Then if I may, Mr. Chairman, the plat of survey shows a 20-foot permanent sanitary easement that runs between 499 as well as the triangular piece, which, what limited legal knowledge I have, would preclude a fence running through it.
Well, I
And
don't know
it's
where
not
that-
on the subject property, he has no right to do anything on that line.
Now, any fence he puts is gonna have to be on his property.
Right.
Yeah, as you see right here too, like I said before, there's like a big trees and shrubs right here. Also, there's like more trees and shrubs on this area too. And the other thing too, I can start to put some shrubs right here to start to make it a fence with the trees and shrubs, but I mean, not really far away from the property. And there's already like a huge fence of the vegetation.
that exists there now?
Yep.
Okay. Have you looked at the use standards of chapters 16.56 for a landscape business?
I'm sorry?
Just gonna address these are approval standards, so it just like James last. He's got them, if you want to address those.
Did you give them,
I gave him a list of these, so you can go through them if you want.
I used to say there's some use standards apparently.
Yeah, he's got those too.
but I don't have them.
So here's for the landscape business portion. And then this is the approval standards here.
Oh, I see.
So he has this page just like you do here, so if you want to go through
Okay, so for a landscape business, storage areas shall be restricted to those areas so designated on the site plan. You have no problem with that, correct?
Correct.
Number 2, all landscape business vehicles and equipment shall be stored entirely within the enclosed structure or a permitted exterior storage area. So you're proposing to store yours outside, right?
Correct.
So you're asking for a deviation from the landscape business.
No, it's a permitted, yes, it's on the
It's
site plan.
permitted area.
Oh, it's on the site plan. Your preparation, assembly, and processing materials shall occur wholly indoors and within the permitted exterior storage area only. The only processing materials you have are the branches, right?
Correct.
Storage shall be limited to vehicles, equipment, materials owned or leased by the property owner. Those vehicles are owned by you?
Correct.
All vehicles stored on site must have current plate registration.
Yes.
All structures utilized by the landscape business must meet all applicable building codes for the occupancy category. Is that true?
Which is the,
He's reading number 6. Basically, that's asking if you have valid building permits for all your buildings.
yes.
You're not going to be doing oil changes in those barns, right?
There is already a 16, like
You have a drainage system?
oh no, I'm not gonna do any oil change on the site. I mean, just for,
Is that on the site plan?
No, he said he's not going to.
no, once my truck's there, I take it to the mechanic.
You're not going to have retail sales on the property?
No.
And you've already covered that you're only going to, the only storage of landscape waste would be stuff that you're going to take away within a day or two, correct?
I say like a week or two, because I don't get too many
Oh,
branches.
we do.
I don't get too many branches.
Okay. It's at the end of it. Oh, my Christ. You're not going to store asphalt paving equipment or supplies?
No,
You're not going to have de-icing agents on the property?
no,
You'll meet the requirements for employee parking. That's covered by the site plan.
correct.
What about bathrooms for employees?
There is already a 16 too.
There's a what?
Existing.
Two.
Okay. All storage areas, parking areas, and buildings shall comply with the required setbacks. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You'll comply with any setbacks.
Setback.
I mean, all the storage that, I don't understand that question.
I'll let it go for now. Okay. So you believe that this site is so situated that your proposed use is compatible with existing or planned future development in the area?
That's at the top of the page, sir.
Sorry?
Other person?
You're talking about number 2. Number 2.
Okay.
San Jose.
Which one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I understand that.
Number 3, do you believe that your use of the property will endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare of the neighboring vicinity?
And I don't understand some of those
The words there.
questions.
He doesn't understand the words. Can you just make that a little simpler for him to understand?
So you don't think your use of the property is going to harm other people?
Oh, no, yeah.
It won't endanger. It's not going to cause anybody or surrounding or near you to not be able to use their property. Is that correct?
Correct.
That your conditional use won't cause other people's property to be devalued.
What number is that one?
Number 5.
Listeners should be. No, I don't think he's not gonna do that.
No, I'm on number 6. It's easier for you to read the question.
I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
He's asking you to read number 6 and respond to number 6.
So read it. The adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary facilities have been or are being provided.
Is that correct?
Is that correct?
Correct.
And adequate measures will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designed as to minimize traffic congestion and hazard to the public. There's no problem with getting in and out of your property, is that correct?
I think it's gonna be safety for that.
And your conditional use shall in all others conform to the applicable regulations of the zoning district in which it is located.
Correct.
Okay, I don't have any further questions. The way this works is at this point, people who are either objecting or observing have the right to ask questions of the applicant. So if you wish to ask questions, this isn't a time for you to state why you might be opposed to this, but it's ask questions of this witness, the applicant. So does anyone wish to ask any questions? Yes, ma'am. Want to come up to the microphone?
Do I need a microphone?
We're recording, so yes.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Cool. So there's
Please
three.
state your name and address first.
Danielle Grigalunas. I'm at 555 Pleasant Place, Island Lake, Illinois. Used to be on Vista. So there's 3 different, I guess, types of property on there, right? There's a homestead, there's cropland, and farmland. In which section of those are we altering? So there's homestead land, there's farming land and cropland. Is it going to impact all of that? Are we trying to rezone it all?
Okay, maybe just welcome it. So your question, there's like a farmland?
I guess you're zoned as 3 different types of land on there. There's homestead, there's cropland, and there's farmland.
I think it's up north is gonna be, if you can check the
What do you want?
If we have
Ariel?
a director, it's just one zoning, it's all A1. She thinks it's three different zonings.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the upper that is agriculture. It looks like on this side is residential, and on this side is residential. It looks like right here is the horticulture, so which is that includes the horticulture too. Up more north is, I think it's like industrial.
Okay. When you look online, it just says 2 acres are home site, 3 acres of this land is cropland, 5 acres is farmland. So I didn't know if that's still the case.
That's just describing the usages on the property, not the zoning.
I misspoke, I apologize. I'm not on board. But so are we, all of that is going away, the purpose of it all is going away?
Well, all what's going away?
What's going to happen with the farmland, I guess? What's going to happen with all the natural land? You mentioned that it's just dirt, right? It used to be crops.
On your property.
There's still,
On my property?
Yes, on your property.
yeah.
Well, it's gonna stay the same, it's gonna stay like a farm, just like I say, I'm gonna just put some of the trees and shrubs right here, and also probably have to put or even can grow some of the trees and shrubs. It's gonna stay as it is, like a farm or agriculture.
You mentioned that there's a bunch of big trees lining the roadway as well as on the property to the left. That property to the left is for sale, right? They're trying,
Which one?
the little triangular one with the strip, right? So if that does end up selling, all of those trees could come down, right? So are there any plans to plant your own barrier on your property?
Yes, as you see, is right here like a barrier of the plants too, and I can start to plant more plants right here too. As we go, we can start to put more barrier of the plants. And as you see, that property here for sale, as you see on both sides, is like a really thick vegetation. So, and I don't think anyone who bought this one, I don't think they're not gonna get closer to the property line. They have to have like a space all the time. So, answer that question, I think pretty much that is gonna stay for a long time.
So I guess it was mentioned that there hasn't been a business operating, but for the last couple of months, there's been a truck sitting on the property right by the roadway. So I guess how is the property right now being used for the business, if not at all?
The only thing, I just leave that truck because some of the people that just were getting on their driveway, which is gonna be canceled. So I just put that truck to block the driveway.
Okay. I guess the bend around there on the northeast corner, it's a pretty sharp bend. I don't know if any of you guys have taken on Roberts Road, between the house and where you guys are gonna put the entrance. Is that where the entrance is staying? It's already kind of a dangerous turn there.
Here?
Yes.
Yeah, I already talked to the Department of the Transportation, and they are okay with that driveway, and they say it's safe. So I got the permit for that to make it, as they requested.
Okay. You're proposing the 5 additional storage, right? Or were you proposing new storage units, or were you proposing just a new parking lot?
Well, the only thing what I'm proposing, those are really the small, like beams, concrete beams, like 12. They're not that big. It's like 12 by 18, which is, I'm going to just store like gravel, mulch, and materials that I need. But those are not that big. There's any big storage or anything like that. Those are pretty small storage beams.
And the storage that's on the property right now, I know that there's been citations for them being there. What are they being used for currently, and how will that change?
Which one? The ones?
All of the existing storage that's,
You mean the barns?
yeah, I guess all the.
I mean, there's no other storage except the barns.
Okay.
I mean, they're not using it all for, Not right now, I don't know what they used in that before. I just owned the property for about 2 years.
And then there was a citation for, sorry, give me a sec. For making alterations to the land, I guess was that on the home site, or was it a part of this business plan?
When did it happen?
I think it said 2021, there was a citation of altering land outside of the zone, or at least that's what it said for the parcel.
We don't do anything. As soon as I bought the property, we're not doing anything, nothing. We're not moving anything yet. Or maybe there'll be something they saw, like a truck or something parking right there, and just they send a notice, and I verified that it's nothing, it's only a truck parking.
Okay, and then, so is there anybody living on the property now? And that's going to change with this proposal?
That is not going to change. I mean, it's pretty much, as you see, this agriculture zoning, and we're going to change to conditional use permit. So basically, the only thing is going to change is the property that I own right now, but anything else is going to change.
Okay. And then you mentioned that it won't devalue the houses, or at least, it won't devalue them. I guess how will it keep it the same, or help bring up value? We're used to having, right, the farmland around there is pretty tucked away. Having a business at that corner, I can't imagine will not devalue all of the houses in the area.
I don't think that is not the valuation of the houses, because we're going to improve the property. As you see, the property is, I mean, it's in really good condition right now along the Roberts Road. There is nothing on Pollard because it's like a huge fence of vegetation. So, but there is not going to demolish any houses because, like I said, it's really far away from the residential properties.
The vegetation along the road, and again, I don't know if anybody else has been on it, you can clearly see right through it. It's very thin, very just weedy. So I guess I'm just concerned having a business at the corner there, right?
Please ask a question. This isn't the time for comment.
Absolutely. So my question is, are there plans to make it a little bit thicker? Because at the moment it's...
Well, like I say, as you see right here in the picture, I started to put nice plants, trees, and shrubs, so I'm going to start to cover that too and make it improve better.
Is it going to be better to block what's going on, or is the intent of making it better at the entrance for the business, for the look of the business?
I mean, that'll be better for the public whenever who's driving right there, so they can start to see better vegetation, better trees, better shrubs, and improve the property.
Any further questions from the public? Now it's time for public comment, starting with the staff.
May staff ask a question?
Staff asks questions.
You have questions?
For once, I have a question. Okay. Oh, so you can have a seat. Okay. You indicated that you've owned the property for about 2 years. Do you know what the property was used for prior to you purchasing it?
If I know that I was using before?
Yes.
Yes. They use for, I think, landscaping too.
Okay, so a landscaping business has been present at this location since prior to your owning the property, correct?
Then I don't know, but I think I know that they were like a landscaping business. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that a landscaping business has been part of this property for a while.
Yeah, that is true for a long time.
I'm gonna come over and get my report from you now. I'm not gonna make you stand up.
Thank you. I can walk.
Okay. Now, Mr. Chairman, I believe that you were offering to allow staff to do our presentation at this point, is that correct? Okay, thank you. Okay, so the property is currently zoned A1. Mr. Guyana is asking for a conditional use permit to allow landscape business with outdoor storage. Landscape businesses are allowed in the A1 district. What triggers it into a need for a conditional use permit is when you add outdoor storage. So the outdoor storage would be the bins where the mulch and the stone and that kind of material will be held. It would also include the storage of vehicles outside. Mr. Guyana has indicated that he's going to have 11 employees. They do have employee parking shown. And set the microphone down for just 1 second.
Charlie, could you pass me?
I'm not sure if any of these work.
This is the
Okay.
site plan, correct?
This is the site plan, correct. Okay, so between the existing storage and the existing office, you'll see that there are 5 parking spaces in front of the existing storage, and there are 6 in front of the office. So all 6 parking spots are being provided for the employees. Let's see here. So the applicant, when he came in, initially he was asking for a permit for, I don't remember how many bins at that point, but at least 1 bin was being applied for. It was at that point that staff noted that because of the outdoor storage, that the conditional use permit would be required. So that's how he got before you today, is needing to do that. Ms. Kustra, you had noted that in the NRI report that the NRI report actually covers more than just the subject property. That is correct. If you take a look at the date of that report, that was done mid-2021. It included this property, it included the property that we refer to as the triangle piece that goes up to the north and surrounds. It also includes property to the east across Roberts Road. The property owner at that time had requested the NRI report, and that's why that report covers all of what we now know as 3 parcels. The NRI report does note some wetlands, but those wetlands are not on this property. They are all to the east of Roberts Road, according to that report. And then in my report, I do note that McDOT has asked for right-of-way dedication along Roberts Road. They have a policy that their different roads have different classifications, and each classification requires a minimum right-of-way. And if the right-of-way along in this case, a conditional use permit, does not meet that standard, they ask the applicant to provide some of that additional right-of-way, eventually leading up to the correct amount of right-of-way being proposed for that classification. So they have noted on their site plan that they will be dedicating the right-of-way. Those documents have been prepared, and McDOT has approved them. The timing is such that until such time as the conditional use permit is approved by the county board, McDOT cannot require that dedication. So the timing will be assuming that the county board approves the request for the conditional use, shortly thereafter, the McDOT will have the right-of-way dedicated. So that's one of the conditions that I have, is the timing of that.
Is this addition of number 9?
No, that's not addition number 9, okay.
Condition number 6.
So yes, that is condition number 6, okay. Condition number 7 is obtaining a McDowell access permit by the end of next year. That has to do with improvements being made to the existing driveway, as well as the removal of the southernmost driveway. So that's tied together. So that permitting process, Mr. Guyana would have up to a year, basically, to obtain that permit from the DOT for that. In terms of other conditions, number 3, our requirements are that drive aisles be a minimum of 25 feet. That's not reflected on the site plan, so we just clarified that this drive aisle will be 24 feet in that area. And then finally,
I don't mean to interrupt, but
Sure.
are we done? Are these the sum total of the proposed conditions?
those are the sum total, and I was about to get down to number 9, which is an addition to what you've previously seen, okay? So we have the trailer that is in the northwest corner of the property. It's been confirmed that that is being used for a employee, as this is a agriculturally used property. They can apply for a agricultural trailer affidavit that would allow the trailer and employee to remain on the property there. And we are asking that that be filed with our office by March 1st of this coming year. That concludes my report.
Questions from the board?
I have a question.
Shoot.
Could I borrow the mic?
No.
Are there any active or recent requests for service with regard to the present owner of the property?
Request of service for,
Violations of one sort or another?
I'm not aware of any violations on the property at this time.
Were there violations with the previous owner?
I believe the answer was yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
Yes.
Go ahead, Nick.
Down here too.
Thank you, Gardner. Now, number 9, you are including or you are not including?
I'm adding that to the list of proposed conditions.
Because it looks like it's crossed out.
Oh, I did that just to highlight that that was something new.
Okay, next time a little lighter green. Yeah.
Got it, okay.
Any proposal?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Has there been received any comments from the municipality of Port Barrington,
No,
the municipality of Island Lake?
no.
That concludes my comments.
I just want to thank you, Anna, for that extra information.
You're welcome.
It really helped. And so any of the concerns from the Soil and Water Conservation District were not about this property at all. It all had to do with other portions of that report.
That is correct.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. And, yeah, thank you so much.
That's it? Are there any questions from the audience based on what you heard after?
Questions of the staff?
Okay. And it's time for comments.
I just have 2 more questions for the petitioner. And my battery's getting low. But I just want to ask you, Mr. Guyana. Mr. Gann, I just want to make sure I pronounce that right. So I just want to verify, your business is in demand, correct? I mean, there's a real need in the public for your type of business for landscaping?
Yes, that kind of business is in really demand, which is, it's good for around the properties too and the public, so it is.
You have no trouble finding customers, in other words, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I have trouble finding employees,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
is really
Okay.
hard.
Okay, that's all I needed to know, thank you.
Well, thank you very much for all you guys to listen to me, so.
Comments from the audience? You have any comments? Pro, con? Whatever.
And when you say you need to identify yourself with your name and your address.
Certainly. My name is Ann Bertolunas, and I'm at 4510 Vista Drive, just the subdivision right in back of there. I was just wondering if you happen to know, or if anyone happens to know, what the name of the previous landscape company was, because I've been there for 27 years, and I've never seen that there. Now, maybe it was covered better than it is now, because it is very sparse, but I just wondered if anyone knew the name of that, or if there's a way to find out.
I think it's Pies Landscaping, and as you see, as I told before too, the property is pretty big, that sometimes the people, they don't notice there is a landscaping business there.
Because it's back there more?
Yes.
So
yes.
I never noticed trucks coming in and out of there.
Yeah, like I said, because the property is big, and as you see, it's really far away from the residential, so nobody knows there was a Pies Landscaping, so.
Gotcha. And that's kind of what you're proposing as well, to have most of that activity toward the back of the property, or at least your portion now?
Correct, and also, like I said, I'm just gonna start to put more vegetation around the property.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not,
No.
I'm going to close the testimony portion of the meeting.
I'm gonna hold this up for you. So you
We're
can
going
just
to
talk.
do the conditions first, right?
Yeah.
We're opening a voting meeting?
Sorry?
You're opening a voting meeting?
Yes, you have to close the regular meeting.
Close the
and
regular meeting and open the voting meeting.
And then we do the conditions? Is that-
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, we're going to close the regular meeting, the testimony portion, and reopen a voting meeting, starting with proposed conditions. Number one, the conditional use shall expire 10 years from the date of approval by the McHenry County Board. Number two, the conditional use shall substantially conform to site plan submitted, stamped, received, dated September 21, 2022. Number three, the drive aisle and driveway shall be a minimum of 24 feet in width. Number four, all storage of de-icing agents shall conform to the standards of section 15.56.050.E of the McHenry County Unified Development Code. I thought it was the Unified Development Ordinance, but. Number five, retail sales shall be prohibited on site. Number six, record the plat of right-of-way dedication for Roberts Road by December 31st, 2022. Number seven, obtain a McDOT MCDOT access permit by December 31, 2023. Number eight, all other federal, state, and local laws shall be met. Number nine, file an agricultural trailer affidavit with the Department of Planning and Development by March 1, 2023. Do I hear a motion to approve these?
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Gooster, seconded by Eldridge, that we approve those conditions. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. It's right here. All in favor, signify, I'll do a roll call. Eldridge,
Yes.
Gartner,
Yes.
Kustra,
Yes.
Cozen,
Yes.
Schnabel,
Yes.
Stone, yes. Beverly,
Yes.
did I get 7?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Conditions are approved, 7-0.
I move approval of the petition subject to the conditions.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Eldridge, seconded by Gartner, that the conditional use permit be approved. Eldridge,
Discussion.
discussion, starting with Eldridge.
Yes, this is a roughly 10.5 acre parcel on Roberts Road, which is a county arterial in the township east of the Fox River. The property has been used in the past for a landscape business. While there have been violations in the past, there have been none with the present owner. The present owner seems to have applied to all of the appropriate agencies for the permits that are required. His business, while substantial, fits well within the site, I believe. It is not, as sometimes is the case, an attempt to put a bigger business on a smaller site than would be appropriate. He has a modest request for storage bin for materials. He expects to use a portion of the site for storage of trees, shrubs, and other growing materials. And he has a number of pieces of equipment which he wishes to store outside. But the size of the site is such, with appropriate screening, which is required by the county, I think will fit nicely on the property and not be a stress on the neighborhood. I think there is no question that landscaping businesses of the type that the petitioner has are in high demand in McHenry County and are a benefit to the public. For these reasons, I support the petition.
Mr. Cozen, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I am wont to do, I started out looking at this petition like not being able to see the forest because of the trees, and then have found that this parcel is actually one that is a betterment to the area. Specifically, it is a parcel in which it is a conditional use. The applicant is committing to a use for the next 10 years without changing the underlying zoning, has provided an illustration to that effect and filed it with the county. And yet the parcel is to the east of a sanitary sewer line from a sanitary plant to the north. It adjoins a county highway of which there is 66 feet of right-of-way. I did have a concern about the exaction being imposed, but public testimony demonstrated a concern of the traffic volume, and so therefore the applicant should be commended for conveying over 12,980 square feet of his property to the county to the betterment of the residents of the county. And that should of itself support my decision to support this petition, and I so do. Thank you.
Mrs. Beverly.
No discussion, thank you.
Mrs. Kustra.
Yes, I agree with Mr. Eldridge and Mr. Cozen that I think this conditional use will have, I think it meets the standards in our ordinance for the approval standards for a conditional use permit. I believe that it'll be good for the county. The conditions we placed on this are appropriate. And I think the petitioner has really done a good job in talking to the agencies and getting the appropriate permits to make sure that this is conducted in an appropriate manner. I'm just really in favor of this petition.
Mrs. Gardner.
Yes, I'd like to echo the comments of my other board members. I do believe this is a good place for this business. I believe that you are an experienced businessman and know what you're doing, and I think this will be an improvement to this property. And if the neighbors don't notice that you're there, so much the better. I would encourage you to keep a good relationship with your neighbors, and I wish you the best.
Mr. Schnabel.
Agree with everything that's been said. Of all of the landscape conditional use plans I've seen, this is by far one of the best ones. And I also like the fact that it's not on a super busy road like Route 47 or Route 176. Robert Roads is still not that bad, fortunately, and hopefully won't be for a long time. So I will definitely support the petition.
I agree with all the comments. I'm going to vote in favor of it. Call the question. Eldridge.
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Hoostra.
Yes.
Schnabel.
Yes.
And Ms. Cozen.
Yes.
Cozen. Stone. Beverly.
Yes.
I vote yes, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who have I missed here? I've gone on 6, 4, 5.
Count yourself.
Who did I miss?
You got everybody.
I don't know.
Schnabel, you voted yes.
Schnabel. Sorry, Kurt, I should have done that.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Okay,
Schwartz.
we'll go to the county board for 7-0 vote, recommending approval. That concludes the hearing. Closing the hearing at this time. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Good luck with your aim. Did you have knee surgery?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I have to have it.
Oh, you did?
I have to, yes.
Oh, you have to?